share it a few places before we begin our live interview. I'm just trying to see it. Sometimes it takes a few seconds to load up on the phone. Oh, there it is. Let me share it. You can share it too if you want to, Kim,
Okay.
on anything.
Is it like under my settings or?
You would go to Jacksonville Business Connections and you
Okay.
would see it there, and then you could share it there.
Gotcha.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa with Jacksonville Business Connections. We have been doing live interviews in the past week and a half, just doing something with our extra time that we have since all of our events have been canceled or rescheduled. And it's been really fun to meet different local businesses, learn more about them, and help spread the word through our social media accounts, since that is our mission. Jacksonville Business Connections mission is to connect business to the community. And today we have Kim Meyer. She's founder and owner of Dreamvisions Health, and she does lots of other stuff too with the community and Veg Fest. You can tell us about that, and just a bunch of different things to give back also. And so we'll have Kim tell us a little bit more about the Dreamvisions Health business you started.
Yes. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Kim Meyer, and I am the founder and owner of Dreamvisions Health. Thank you for watching today and giving me a chance to tell you a little bit more about my business. I started out in 2016 on a journey with wanting to be a better health and remove toxic chemicals from my home and for personal use. And also on that journey, I was I became vegetarian and then pescatarian and then vegan. So it was really important to me to eliminate any chemical, anything that was in my home for my own personal use and for my home use as far as cleaning products and things of that nature, to not include anything that had been created from an animal or had animal byproducts in it. So I started with essential oils. I became a doTERRA wellness advocate, and I still am a doTERRA wellness advocate. I just don't practice the MLM. It's not my nature to go out and try to sell, but I do love the product, and I do have the product. I use it every day in my home for diffusing, as far as anything, as far as my personal use products and cleaning products. So along that line, I lived in Maryland when all this stuff had happened to me. And then we had a 3 to 5 year plan to move to Florida, and that plan turned into 6 months. And lo and behold, I moved to Florida and decided that for lots of health reasons, also not to go back into the dental field and really focus on having a home-based business. With that home-based business, I found out, I'm making my own products for myself, that why shouldn't I offer this to other people? So I began making products and attending events in the Florida area. And I got hooked up with Melissa, and I've been with Jacksonville Business Connections ever since. I'm going on my 3rd year here, and I do 90%, 99%, I would say, actually, of my events with Melissa, outside of maybe some other few organizations that I get along with, and I'll list some of those when I get done further in this process. But so I started making those products. Those products also led me to, along with some other things in my life, to go inward and really find out who I am. And I had a major life change happen about 9 years ago, coming up on 9 years ago. And it has helped me to grow and find out the person that I was truly meant to be. And with that, I started studying I started studying like crystals and things along that line, which led me to go into a Reiki class. And I just wanted to know how to be able to help heal myself from some of my own health issues, and to be able to offer in my home to actually a dog that we were fostering at the time. And she had some really severe dog aggression issues. So I attended some Reiki classes. I went to 1, 2, and then 3, which I became a Reiki master. And then I pursued that further to become a Reiki master teacher. And I did venture out into a public business with my Reiki, and found out that really wasn't where I wanted to be in that kind of a public setting. I really wanted to work for myself and really do things that were in line with who I am, and be able to offer things to the public as far as Reiki sessions are concerned, and not always put a price tag on it. I believe that everybody deserves the chance to learn how to heal themselves. And also, this does not take the place of any doctors or anything that you are on a regimen you're on from your primary care physician or other physicians. It's just another added benefit to increasing our health and making ourselves well, along with whatever, Western medicine may be needed. And some people have struggles with, money, and especially now. I mean, oh my gosh, what a great time to talk about this kind of stuff. I have a price tag. Yes, I'm a business owner, and I need to be able to maintain, my business as far as, marketing and all the other things that go along with having a business. But I also want to make services affordable for people. So if you can't afford, there are things we can do to help along that lines, but I truly believe that being able to help people is where I'm supposed to be. I am a huge animal advocate, and so I also stretch out to that. So I offer, let's just talk about Reiki real quick. Some people are kind of go, what's Reiki? Okay, it's 2 different words, Rei and Ki. And basically it's life force energy. We all possess energy within ourselves to be able to help ourselves. Parents, if a child falls down and cuts their knee, what is the first thing we do? We run to the child, we put our hands on them, and we put our hands on the area. If we can't put our hands on the area, we put it near the area, and we soothe them. That's Reiki energy. That's all it is. We are just transferring our healing into that next being, just by the touch of a hand. And that's all it takes. You don't even have to be present to transfer energy. Energy can be transferred through space and time. And that's what really happens when you become a Reiki master. You use certain things to draw in that energy and be able to permit that through your hands, either by the laying on of hands or just hands, through distance and time, which is another thing that can be offered during this time, is distance healing. It can happen, and it does happen. I've had several cases, and so you don't have to be physically present for healing to happen with your practitioner.
That's awesome. I was gonna say, oh, tell us about what Reiki is for the people that don't know, but then
Right.
you did go into that.
I actually have notes on the side, so if I follow them, I might be actually to get through all of this and say what needs to be said, but you know how notes go, so. So as long as with Reiki and the things that I do sell natural products, and we'll talk about that in just a second, but I talked about crystals. I use crystals also in my practice when I need a little extra help with something that might be stuck for somebody. I have fluorite around my neck right now. Fluorite is a crystal is great for grounding and harmonizing spiritual energy. So I felt it would be a perfect thing to have with me today, because I can get off on tangents and I get a little nervous and things start going awry. So I'm like, okay, I'll just grab you, get me back to center, get me back to earth. Reiki also works on, a lot of people know about the chakras. So crystals and Reiki work with the chakras and helping to align those. We have 7 of them through our system. I'm not going to go into great detail on that, but I'll be glad to discuss it with anybody in private or offline. I also use cards to do readings. And a lot of people, when they think of card readings, they think of tarot. What I do is not tarot. It's oracle card or angel card readings. They're very positive messages. Tarot is an absolute set of deck of cards of 72 cards, and that's what tarot users use. I use a vast variety of cards. I have probably about 10 different sets in my possession, and I just kind of pick a set that feels good to me during a session, and we go from there. I also do animal Reiki. And, during these times right now for humans, we are, the uncertainty, the unknown that is out there for us. And when it comes to this virus, if you have fur children at home, and you are stressed and you are worried and you are just panicking about things and you're just finding yourself out of sorts, don't forget about your fur-legged friends. Okay. They, especially dogs, cats do somewhat, they feel that, but dogs really especially do feel the fact that we are stressed and we are at any point in time. Doesn't matter just with this virus, but it can be anything. And they can go into, kind of retrograde. They hide. They're not as ambitious. They're not as, attuned. They're not as maybe like they practice social distancing because they want to get away from that energy that you're putting out. Okay. So
Right.
I do animal I can help with animal Reiki. When it comes to that, I actually am a practitioner, a Reiki animal master teacher practitioner with Sawgrass Pet Resort. They just opened just before the TPC, and it's out in Ponte Vedra Beach. So I am a practitioner there. I go there on Wednesdays to see the it's a dog resort actually, and so you can see the dogs there right at when they're on for their day boarding, or they're just boarding for people going on vacation, things of that nature. I also can come to your home and do Reiki with your animal, or we can just do distance Reiki, just like we do with humans.
That's really interesting. I didn't know you could do that distance too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really amazing, and it works just as well as being in person. I mean, I get the same. I'm an empath, what people call an empath. I absorb other people's energy, so it's really important for me, and that's a part of this journey. What led me to where I am today was learning how to sort out other people's emotions versus what was real inside me. And
Wow.
especially with this thing going on around us, I really have to take care of myself, because I mean, the minute I get out in public and I start getting close to people that are just like, grabbing all the toilet paper and, just freaking out and running down the aisles with carts and things of that nature, man, I just instantly go, and I can't breathe. It's like, and I'm just like, okay, it's not mine. I don't own this energy. I don't own it. Just let it go. And I will tell you, I would probably be one of the first persons that would have been wrapped around the axle when all this stuff's happened. And I would have been the one out there hoarding the toilet paper and all the cleaning supplies. And I really would have been one of those people, because I just would have been in complete panic mode. But I know how to channel that energy now, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
That is.
I'm not 100%, but ask Melissa. I think she's seen me in some of my moments when I've been a little bit.
And you've seen me in mine.
Absolutely, and we've done things to figure that out, haven't we? Even right there, and an event was happening, and we just brought out the spray and we did our stuff.
Let me spray you down. Breathe it in.
Yes, and breathe. This is not yours. Let it go. Just let it go. Exactly. So, that's the kind of things I do out in public. And, I don't say, hey, well, it's $10. You just owe me, No, those are the types of things that, are important to help out in the community. And I work on people and they don't even know I'm doing it sometimes, because it's actually for me. I don't have to feel it. So.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I love that.
People should be accepting of your energy, but it's more so I'm actually working on myself so that I don't get wrapped around the axle, what you're wrapped around the axle about, because we've got more crazy people running around. So, Right. But I will talk a little bit about my products and what really, really got me where I'm at now. And so the big thing, and I've been doing this for a while with you, Melissa, especially swag bags at your events, and I'm 99 to 100% that I always donate something in there. It just helps get my business name out there and help people know what I do.
Yep.
And I was doing hand sanitizers, and it's really, I'm scared, which I gotta find out where my camera is. Okay, hand sanitizers. and I have the name sanitizer on here. And because of that, I can still call it hand sanitizer with the CDC and the FDA, but I have found out that I need to call it something else when I am selling it, when all this is over, because the CDC sanitizer is actually considered a drug over the counter. So
wow.
I found out lots of things while going through this, and some people have helped me with this and brought it to my attention. Here's my friend. We'll talk about her in just a minute and why she's in my lab. She's not one of my regulars for babies, so we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But I've been making hand sanitizer for a couple of years now, and I was putting it in the swag bags. And then I was like, this is actually, I could sell this. Why am I just giving it away? Which is fine to give away stuff, but when I realized how much it was costing me to do these, I was like, oh, I should get those away just yet. So anyways, but I do make hand sanitizers. I have them in the 2-ounce bottles. I just received my 8-ounce spray bottles today for the actual spray that I make as well. So I make the spray, and I can't figure out my camera with this stuff, but I do make the spray. Just some of the other things I make smudge kits, incense. I'm a healer, so I make this whole healing line. I've got braided sawgrass, and here's a clearing spray we talked about, Melissa and I. This is so awesome. Just douse it over yourself, say a little mantra to dispel all those negative energies. Use for your home, in your car, wherever. But yeah, so those are some of the things I make. And much more. But I just want to throw out a couple out there. But this will be calling like hand cleaner. Versus sanitizer. When the fact of the virus is over, they're allowing you to go ahead and package and sell it that way. But I do have to be careful. And that's the thing about making products yourself. You do have to follow things, and you have to be, in line with what the FDA and what the CDC is saying and things of that nature. So it's not just, I go in and I just start making concoctions, start selling it. I do have to kind of be careful and have to watch what, and I have to make my labels accordingly as well, so that people know. And I do all this myself. I don't have an outside, it's just me. I wouldn't allow my husband to get his hands in my business. I love him dearly. He's a business and life coach, but let's just not mix business and romance. So, but yeah, so I do keep my products are here in my home, or you can get them at events I attend around the area. And I do have a brick and mortar, which is made by locals. It's off of Shad Road over by the Avenues. Unfortunately, as of the new order, you can't get this in the store now because the store can't be open. So, but I do carry products in that store, and I also carry products at Sun Essentials Tanning off of 16 down by just before you hit US 1. On the right-hand side, Manatee Cafe. The press is in there. There's a Thai bistro place in the little shopping center. She carries some of my products as well. So those are some of the brick and mortar places. But my standout brick and mortar place is made by locals. Other than having stuff based out of my home. I do not have an online store anymore. I did away with it. I was finding that it was easier just to meet people and bring them the product versus having to mess with all that and put pictures up and everything. So I do not have an online store as of now. So.
Okay.
And I guess
you can always use the business directory too. I think there's a spot where you can just upload your products.
Yeah, and I'm really bad about that, Melissa. I know you've mentioned that to me so many times, so I need to take advantage of that. I am a member with the Jacksonville Business Directory as well, so you can find me there. And you can find my products there as soon as I get around to uploading pictures and doing all that stuff. But along with being a business owner, I have found Hi Sweet Pea. Hello, love.
Tell us more about your involvement in taking over the Gainesville Veg Fest.
Okay, so I am the president of the North Florida Veg Events, which is basically, it's known for and was, the nonprofit was made out of the fact from the Gainesville Veg Fest that started in 2016 as well, 17, sorry. 18, 19, 20, 21, that'll be our fourth year. Yes, 17, excuse me. So Gainesville did a Veg Fest. It turned out so amazing, and the attendance was so awesome. So they decided to go ahead and make a nonprofit. It's North Florida Veg Events, I've mentioned just a little bit ago. And the main event that we do. I hate that word. I don't know why we say it. But we do the Gainesville Veg Fest. So we had Gainesville Veg Fest 2020, and it was absolutely amazing. It was my first Veg Fest as the president, and I also wore quite a few other hats. So if you are looking to volunteer, this is my pitch, because we can't get out and do recruitment for volunteers right now. I would love for you to give me a PM, whatever, and tell me you're interested in volunteering in those types of things, because we are looking for volunteers to fill up the committee board for next year's 2021 Veg Fest. It takes volunteers to put on events of that magnitude, and this last one we estimated probably about 6,000 people. It's really hard to do clicker counters, so we just kind of threw out some that people were just walking through. They may not have even been there for the Veg Fest. They may have just been in downtown Gainesville. But anyways, that's the kind of traffic that comes through this. But it takes volunteers for those events to happen. So we need you. If you want to volunteer, just PM me and I will get you the information for that and get on our planning committee board for 2021. So I also, I'll just talk really quickly. I'm going to talk about this little girl because she keeps popping her head up. So this young lady right here, I got involved with Florida Urgent Rescue, which is FUR, a while back, and there was a loose dog that was in my area, and I knew Florida Urgent Rescue, so I reached out to them and I helped trap that dog. And it took us about 2 weeks, but we did trap that dog. His name is Panda, and he is doing wonderful, and it was really great to be a participant in something like that. And then I got a phone call or a message on Saturday night if I could help trap another dog. I said, absolutely. So we started this process on Sunday, and within an hour of setting out the trap, this young lady was our friend that we got. And when I went to see the trap and she was in it, she wanted to chew my face off along with my fingers and everything else. She was very scared, and had been running for over a week. And so here she is, and I am her foster right now. And look at her. See, this was not happening 4 or 5 days ago. And now she is just like, she's a lover. She's a sweetheart. She's just scared to death. We're doing some integration to help her with, I had big dogs, so we're doing some of that. And she's attached to my hip. So she did let my husband reach out to her today. And then he was going to go pick her up, and she's turned around and gave him the typical Chihuahua. So we're working on her with men as well. So Florida Urgent Rescue, they have dogs that need fosters, that need adoption. So if you are interested in your home right now, because of all this, foster a dog. Foster. There's dogs out there that need homes. So that leads me right into BARC, which is Boxer Aid Rescue Coalition. I also do some work with them. I'd help with home visits and things of that nature with them. And they also have lots of dogs that need foster homes or adoption. So reach out to them as well. And I got involved when I became vegan. I talked about that 5 years ago. Going to come up in 6 years. I worked at an animal rights conference. It's a national animal rights conference, and it's held on the East Coast one year and on the West Coast the opposite year. And I just became their special events manager for this year. It's going to be out in Portland. As of yet, we are still holding it. July 16th through, I don't have the actual dates, I'm sorry, but it is still pending that it will be happening. But the thought is that it's going to be too large of an event because of everything that's happening, and we may not be able to have it this year, but stay tuned. It's National Animal Rights Conference, and it will be in Portland next year if we don't get to hold it there this year. So Stay tuned for information on that as well. And then, of course, the Great Community Give Back. Hello.
Yay!
This is Melissa's nonprofit, and I'm just going to kind of hang on off to the side over there, and help out when I can, and help Melissa be able to give back to the community as well, which she does in so many other ways. But this is just one more avenue of giving back, and I'm busy and I love it. It's all great and it's fun stuff. I don't have to like go to work, but I do work. So I enjoy
I
it.
can relate.
Melissa being here and offering off these interviews, and so that people can get out and talk about their businesses and who they are in Jacksonville, St. Augustine area. And so, yeah.
That's awesome. What are you calling her?
We're calling her Chi-Chi.
Oh. Like, how do you not want to keep that little cute sweetness?
Honey, I want to keep her. We got to talk to my husband about that. So if anybody is watching this, they know exactly what I mean.
I can tell she's already attached to you.
She is very attached to me, yes. And so she's probably staying. Doesn't have Facebook.
Can't you just call it a permanent foster?
Kind of where we're going with this whole information, yeah. So, I keep asking Mike, where are we on the foster for her? And he doesn't ever answer me back. So I'm like, yeah, I know, because he knows. But we're getting your face out there. Great. Yeah, we're getting your face out there.
She is so precious. You wouldn't believe that she was fearful and
Oh God. Oh yeah. She did. She got me after we got her rabies shot. We took her to the vet. We vetted her and made sure, we got her legal and everything. And, about the second day in, third day in, actually, I was doing fine with her and we were doing great. And I had my glasses on, didn't even think about it. And I reached into her kennel and she just came at me full force. I had my glasses on and it scared her. She didn't know who I was. I took them off and she was like, oh, it's you. So that just tells you about our fur friends and what they feel and what they, things like that. So I won't get off on my animal tangents, but.
Have you done Reiki on her then?
I have been. That's exactly what I started with her. Thank you for bringing that up, because I did. I did do Reiki on her. I opened the kennel doors once I got her in there, and she laid in there and she growled at me, but I laid right on the floor and I just did some Reiki with her, and I continue to do it with her. And I honestly 100% believe that's why it's such a quick turnaround with her.
That's awesome.
that she is where she is. So now it's just to work on that fear from other things, of other people, of other animals and stuff. So, but she's definitely coming out of her shell. She's in my office. This is where she stays, but she lets everybody know when my other two walk out on the hardwood floor, she lets them know that she's in here. And we're working on that too, that's unacceptable behavior, that we have to be nice to people, and we talk nice to people in our house, at least 99% of the time. And then when she does this, her lip gets stuck on our tooth on the left-hand side, so she looks like she's snarling at you. And I'm like, stop it, you don't snarl. Anything I missed, Melissa?
I was just gonna ask, in terms of like your big dream of the business, like where would you want it to go? Like, what is your huge dream of everything coming together?
My huge dream of everything coming together is just, I would like to see myself in a brick and mortar rather than a home-based business. I do practice. I didn't mention that before, I think, but I practice Reiki out of my home, which can be really difficult. Some people aren't comfortable coming into somebody else's home, things of that nature. So my goal is to be in a brick and mortar and try to incorporate everything. I think that, well-rounding is where people need to be. And I have a great friend that is working on, getting a studio, and she does have her studio right now, but of bringing in more like-minded people and in different facets. So that's, I'm in with that same vision, but it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. I'm not out there, begging for it, or I want it to be natural. I want it for people as well as for myself. I think that I know I'm going to find myself, where in that spot where I can help be of service to everybody. So
That's awesome. I think you'll get there. I've seen you change
yeah,
and grow and so much since we first met. It's insane to I feel like every time I see you, you're like, here's the next thing I'm doing. Have I
yeah.
told you this?
Who does that remind you of? Ah, yeah. We're pointing fingers. We're not pointing back. You're pointing fingers at each other because just one more pointing back at you. But
Yeah.
yeah, when I met you, I said the same thing to you. I was like, oh my God, what do you not do? So, I it's what's calling me, and I believe full heartedly at the fact. I think I was talking a little before, and I veered off the path, but that I'm an empath. What that means is I absorb other people's things. So when I say that, so as far as like Reiki and things go, some people have a misconception that, oh, what did you see? What did you see? And I don't see as much as that's clairvoyancy. My friend, and I will mention her. I love her, Gabriella. She's clairvoyant. She sees things, and they're right there, and they're vivid, and they're awesome for her. I'm just not that type of person. I feel it. And to me, I don't know, that it's awesome because now I can feel it, and I can tell you exactly, hey, this is what's happening with you, and try to help you. So
I remember when I got a session, I think I had some throat blockage, and you said I wasn't speaking up enough and using my voice enough. And I still think I struggle with that. I'm a little bit, when people take advantage or different things like that, it's hard for me to be like, hey, you're not a good person.
but I saw the change in you after that as well, because you have stepped up your game from where you were kind of a behind the scenes person, but now you're actually incorporating yourself into everything, and you're that visual, you're that something that's tangible for people. Some people need visual and they need tangible, and they need to know what's going on, or who they're speaking with, and you're giving them that opportunity by doing this even. So I think that's out of your comfort zone, and you look where you're at. So
That's so true. I never thought about it like that, Kim.
yeah,
See, that's really
it continues to work. It's not just one time. It continues to work. And,
right.
especially if people have severe blockages, you just brought that up. So blockages, it's helping to clear some of those things that are going on with you. And sometimes it doesn't happen just overnight or in one session. Sometimes it takes a few sessions, and that's okay. That's okay. And once you learn how to, manage those things yourself, you can do self-healing. So.
Right. And the interesting thing is I had a friend down here visiting, and she was only down for 2 days. It was like a turn and burn type trip. And somehow Reiki came up. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I had it done. My friend Kim. And she's like, oh, I want to do it. But it was like the day she was leaving. And I'm like, well, next time. But I was telling her, I remember when I had it done too. I remember things, you weren't touching me, and I physically felt like something shift. Like you can feel things. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it is. And every time I get it done, I'm amazed as well. I'm just like, okay, seriously, how would you know that? How would, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I
really definitely recommend it.
Yeah, and it's hard to describe to people. It really is. You can say it and you can tell them, okay, it's inference. I'm petting the dog right now. Okay. That's really a transfer of energy. I'm just letting her know that she's okay and she's comfortable, and she doesn't have to be fearful, things of that nature. But, unless you experience it for yourself, it really is, you just got to do it.
Right.
Just jump in and do it. So
Isn't Reiki essential for mental health? Like you would think that shouldn't be.
I 100% believe that. I have, like I said, I had a life-changing event 9 years ago, and along with that, it became starting to do meditation, and I'm like, who wants to sit and do that? And I can't. And I kept thinking of all the things I was doing wrong while I was doing it. But it's just basically, it's like meditation. Meditation is an essential for daily life. My opinion, okay,
Right.
for daily life, because if you start your day with that, you will find things will go a little smoother and a little more smoother, and you'll become more grounded, more centered, more calm, things of that nature. But if there's something that's really deep down and it's just really deep seated, and again, Western medicine is fantastic when we need it for what we need it. but it doesn't get to the root cause. And that's what Reiki can help with, is help get to the root cause of what is actually going on inside your body.
So can people still come during this, or are you
With practicing social distancing, I'm not allowed because I am not medicine. So I'm considered non-essential, but
really?
we can do distance Reiki. Okay. We can do it by distance. And I would love, I don't even know if she got on here or not, but, I'm working with a gal in Boca Raton, and my husband and I were traveling through there and stayed at a hotel, and she was our server, and she's doing distance Reiki with me right now.
Wow.
I mean, literally, we just started, last week. And because she had asked me about finding a Reiki practitioner when I was there. And I said, find somebody you're comfortable with, find somebody you know. And for some reason, I just didn't even think to tell her, I do distance Reiki. Well, I just happened to see a post from her, and I reached out to her. I said, I do distance Reiki. I don't know why I didn't tell you that. And she's like, oh, yeah. And so we're doing sessions, and it's amazing. It's just she's there doing her thing, I'm here doing my thing, and through space and time, then we meet each other. I call afterwards, and I give her my whatever was going on during the time, and then she says back to me, oh my gosh, I felt da 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 when you just said you da 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 da. So
Right.
without compromising, I do, it's HIPAA, so I do need to be cognizant of that, but yeah, so and it's different each time. There's different things that happen each time. So yes, so I am open for business.
I'll let my friend know about the distancing Reiki, because I completely forgot that she can do it because she's in another state.
Absolutely.
And I'll definitely reach out to her and let her know about that.
Thank you. And I'm working on a referral package for people who refer clients. It'll go up to a 20% off your sessions by the referrals. So like 5%, 15, up in that ratio. So 4 referrals, you get 20% off your future sessions, and also working on an in-house referral for yourself. So if you attend so many sessions, also you'll get a certain percentage off each time. So up to the 20%.
Oh, great.
So that's always another incentive. If you are interested in a distance healing session, I don't think we can probably put my link up here, but it is, if you just go to my website, www.dreamvisionshealth.com, there is a schedule now button on there. You just click on that. It'll take you to my scheduler. If you don't find a time that works for you, please just send me a private message, and I can alter my schedule to fit you in. Especially now I'm home more, so my schedule may not reflect those changes, but I'm trying to get that updated as well as my website is going to be going through a major overhaul as well. So, and an update, and but yeah, reach out to me privately, and I will be more than happy. We did hers at 6:15 this morning.
Oh, wow.
So I was up, and she was, there, and we did it at 6:15. So, just because the slots are there, it's just me to help manage my time so that I don't overschedule myself with things. So that's what the schedule's for me. I have to have that for my sanity. I can block off my days when I need my personal time, and then I can also, make time for people. So, or animals. I leave Wednesdays open for the animals, just because of the pet resort, because they are still open. They're considered essential. But other than that, I pretty much can do 7 days a week. I do try to take time off for myself. So.
Right. All right. Well, that was awesome, Kim. I appreciate that. It was great hearing everything and talking to you again.
Absolutely, you do as well. And I appreciate you for doing this. And again, if anybody needs anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm glad to be here to help you or guide you. And, honestly, too, I want to say this out of sincere honesty. If you come to myself or you've been Reiki with someone else and you just, it's not a fit for you, please, I'm always open to move you on to somebody that might be bigger than me. I've been doing this for a short amount of time. I'm good at what I do, but sometimes people just need somebody who's been in practice a longer time and has a more deeper, solid connection. I am not afraid to refer you out or send and find you someone that will work for you. So, even though I am good.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. And I'll look forward to seeing you soon for a distance
You
Reiki
too.
session and holding space and
Definitely.
time with you. Namaste.